What's the story?
I didn't talk to anybody at the office. We have all that antivirus software though in our
Yeah.
stuff. But I gotta check the home computer when I get home because what it does is it triggers off the clock. And I don't think anybody would have turned my computer on at home while I was gone there. But I use Prodigy at home, which means I'm communicating on telephone lines. So there's a chance we could have I
Yeah.
could have downloaded it into our home computer.
No.
But at the office, they've got all this antivirus software on all the terminals and all the PCs, so I'm sure it didn't get into the office. But that's something else. There's another one that's going to happen this Friday, for Friday the 13th, and then another one like in 2 weeks. I don't know how they find out about them though.
I don't either. Can't understand it.
Brent, they didn't have the right date set. But I don't know how they find out about these things.
I don't either.
Isn't that amazing though?
Yeah.
It goes all around the world on floppy disks and over the phone lines. And this is a bad one because it wipes everything out.
Yeah.
Some of them just give you nasty messages. But this one, you know, destroys all your files. So.
I was up to Workplace. We have a stationery place, a big place called Workplace. I had bought him a paper cutter and he didn't want it, it was too big. So I took it back. They had a sidewalk sale. They had a beautiful typewriter and they had a little bit of a computer, you know, the thing, sitting there, $199. I've never seen anything, not even a typewriter for that.
No.
And they had a table, it was more than 6 foot. Most gorgeous finished top I've ever seen for $35. Some little old man come along, he said, I think I'm going to throw mine in the garbage and I'm going to buy that, he said.
Wow.
Well, it was gorgeous. It had metal legs, but it had also wood panel on each side. It was beautiful. It was about that thick. Gorgeous table. Rounded
Why were
edges.
they selling it for $35?
I don't know.
Sidewalk sale.
Sidewalk sale, and
Stuff.
maybe the last of the stock.
Jesus.
Because it's an enormous place. They have one up there by Belk Lindsay, Gulfview Mall, and then they have one
Well, I got
down
more.
in Clearwater,
It's
right?
a chain. It's all.
It's a chain. It's
It's quite
Clearwater.
place. It's
Like a
office
chain.
supplies.
Like office supplies?
All
Yeah.
office supplies. Yeah.
Office Depot we got down here. Another.
I got Todd's word processor at Pace for I think almost $200 less than I saw it anywhere else.
Wow.
He's got the word processor, it's a typewriter, but it's a computer. That's what you should get.
Yeah.
You should get the combination typewriter word processor. You actually are like typing on the keys, but it's storing it and see it on
yeah.
a screen, and then you print it back, and you
Right.
can make all, you know, your changes before you print
That's
it.
what your brother must use. Because he types up a bit. Well, your father
He has a
does too.
PC. No,
Oh,
they're
he does.
they're using the PCs with the printer.
Oh,
This is, it looks like a typewriter base,
yeah,
but instead of a carriage,
yeah.
it's got a flip-up screen. So when you're typing, you see it like on a little
Right.
screen.
Yeah.
And then when you're all done, you can save it, and then you put your piece of paper in it, and you hit a print button, and it just prints.
My first office job, Town Guarantee and Trust Company, years ago, my first job. I worked a typewriter. Everything was on a flat bed, and I typed up in here. Everything came out on the bottom.
Back in the Stone Ages.
Yeah,
Way back.
way
Yeah,
way
back.
back.
Way back.
Way back.
I was 18, 17,
70-some years ago.
but that was quite a setup at that time. That was something that had only just came out, you know, when I went to work there. They had a big office, and we all had those kind of machines.
Mhm.
Your carriage and everything was down on the bottom.
As your typewriter, you have to like manually click it over, right?
Oh no, she's
No,
got
I got an
electric.
electric. I bought an electric
Oh, okay.
typewriter. Yeah, I got a Smith Corona.
Okay.
I'm not happy with it. I got a very heavy touch, and you can't use it on an electric typewriter.
You'd have a hard time with a word processor too. You have to,
I have
because you
to-
hold that
I'm
button
trying,
down, you're
yeah.
going to get 10
Right.
across.
What I do mostly, I hit that correct button. She goes, quick, 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 quick. I gotta go over. I'm trying, because I don't use it as much as I used to. I used to use it a lot more, but now I just type up my newsletter for the club. And occasionally I might write a letter, but most of
Not
the
that
time it's
often.
just for the club, you know. So, well, I now, this last president we had, he set something up when someone passed away, sort of a sympathy letter to the family,
Mhm.
and then we would fill in the name. So I just typed up a new one and has some duplicated, because the other one we had,
See, on the word processor, you just
do it
print it all
right,
each
right.
time because it's all stored in there. You could put all your mailing lists and stuff, everybody's name and address and
Right,
telephone
right,
numbers, and when they change it, you can go in and change
Our other
your
president, I
copy
think,
and
had
store it.
I think he had a computer, Herb, I think he had the whole setup. But he printed, oh, see a gorgeous printer, a fancy printer. He put hooks on things, you know, and beautiful. But now we have a nice one. Bob's nice, I like Bob. But he's a little more down to earth, you know.
How many members do you have locally?
About 176.
Is that just for this area though?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
just this side of the state? 'Cause
Yeah.
I know you
We
go
got
over to
one
the
on
other coast, right?
Yeah, we go over the other coast
It's just this side.
to the
West Coast.
Because we got
Stewart.
a club in Port Charlotte and one up there in Brooksville.
Then we have clubs in North Carolina, South
All
Carolina.
along the East Coast is about
With this short sleeve yellow sweater. And I swear he had his eyes closed.
Driving?
Driving.
bicycle. No.
Bicycle.
Oh, I should.
He's got eye trouble.
I don't think he has
He's
his
got eye
eyes
trouble. He goes to one doctor, nothing wrong. He's got head trouble, got pains in his head, nothing wrong. He said, I don't know what's the matter with the doctor. I got all these pains and they tell me there's nothing wrong with me. I still say it's all upstairs.
What is
Okay.
Oh, did you get it?
Special made, yeah, it's out in the, Eunice will show you after, it's out in the other garage. When she comes in, I'll tell her, go out there and look at it.
Okay. It's in the refrigerator out there?
Connie, before Doris gets here.
Isn't it pretty? Huh? Shame to cut it, huh?
Really?
Told you.
She works at the school, I don't know whether she's. Nine, Jim,
Mm-hmm.
roses in the, during the year.
That's right.
One more beautiful than the other.
One was put in the
So now I have artificial roses. This time of the year, I went out and bought myself some artificial roses.
Well, you'll have them again soon, though.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah, they're coming back.
Takes
Yeah,
about
yeah.
6 weeks. They got, they
There's 4 or 5 out there in the back, I see.
They got buds already. We got a few miniatures came out.
Yeah.
That's all. But,
So,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
finish
yeah,
the
Jimmy.
story about Dad, the matches.
about what?
Dad and the matches.
Oh, the matches. So I didn't know what to do. I was
Jimmy.
afraid to burn the house down
This is you.
or burn up his sister
Yeah.
or what.
That's me.
I tried everything. I scolded him. I slapped his bottom. So one day I came in and I caught him. Lightning. So I put his finger in it and I burned his finger to a blister. Rick Montana almost. If it was the law today, I'd have been in jail. She thought I did the most terrible thing. I said, look, I got to stop him. It's going to get serious. He never lit a match, and he has no use for matches to this
To
day
this
yet.
day.
Never.
And then he became a fireman.
Yeah, then he becomes a fireman.
Fireman, yeah.
Now he's a senior citizen. For the
Really?
project.
And a senior citizen and retired.
Mhm.
And on Social Security. I
Living
never
happy.
thought I'd live to see my 2 children on Social Security. But they are, both of them.
Yeah.
Doris, she was little.
Oh my gosh.
She had a different coloring than
Where's
the rest
Ed
of
now?
us.
Right there.
And that's how
That's something.
Helen take it. And he was a brat.
You were always a troublemaker, Ed.
He was a
He
brat.
was a brat. We used to fight. He used to say, I'm not going. He'd sit down on the curb and I'm not going no further. All right, you go. We'll leave you. So that's how we
So
kept
you
up
knew
all those
Helen.
years.
Yeah.
Helen and I were girlfriends for 52 years. She was my,
I remember him. How do I remember him if they were only married 2 years? How old would I have been?
Connie, you're gonna be so happy I just taped all of this. I mean, you get
What?
so much food in your mouth when you just ask those questions.
See, this is the worst thing you're gonna get through, you know.
I know.
This is
They're
gonna
gonna
be
show
great.
it on tape, they'll drag it out.
This is gonna be
Yep.
great.
Oh well, now I have a beer.
Really
Salute.
B-E-E-R.
swill down all that food.
That's right. So, she was married when she was in her 50s?
I think it was 52 or something like that. She got married in 48. She was born the same year I was, so figure it out. No, it wasn't 50.
Because then I couldn't have known him, but I remember, I
And
remember her being
they
married.
always were out. We were like two families, even though when we moved to Lindenhurst, we were 17 miles apart. But we always kept in touch. Ed was to my wedding, and Hal was in the wedding party. And he was always there. That's what Doris is the same thing. I always knew him when we were little, because they were always around. We were like two families, even though we were 17 miles apart, you know.
Sure they knew each
Anything
other.
ever went on, a wedding or
Jeez,
a
oh,
death
Jesus.
or anything like
Have
that.
some goodies.
Well, I always thought we were related.
Yeah, well, a lot of the kids did. A lot of my grandchildren did.
Where was Oceanside in relation to Lindenhurst?
Closer to the city.
18 miles closer.
About 18 miles apart.
Right along the railroad,
You what?
back towards like Jamaica, the Long Island Railroad.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
Towards the city.
They lived in Rockford. Here comes Doris and Pete. They park next door.
You can get my aunt and her
Get
friend
them when they come
when
in
they
the
come
door.
in.
You
His
get
name
them
is
when they
Pete.
come in the door.
Pete, yeah.
Yeah, rub it in.
The door is open. The door is open.
Door is open.
It's open. The door is open. Walk in.
Hi, and you're being
Rub it in.
filmed.
Great.
My husband got a new toy for his birthday. How are you?
Just fine, just fine.
Hi, hi, hi.
So good.
Yeah.
Happy birthday for tomorrow.
Thank you. Humidity's back.
Well, we
It's so
went
nice
this
the
morning.
last couple days.
No, you can't tell us till tomorrow.
The cake.
Oh.
I told her that. So I had an appointment to pick up the cake for
We've
Lady
got it on
Sax.
film.
At 2 o'clock.
film, right.
So we
Yeah,
went
we
up
don't
this
show
morning,
it.
9:30, Eunice and I.
You have to
We
make
had
a
to go to
copy,
work
Jim, of the
place.
film and send it to us.
And then we had to
That
go
cake will
to
last a long time.
No.
Belfast to get some things, and they do have girdles.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So
Got that on film now too.
then from there, I said, so long as we're up this far, we'll go on up. Maybe it's all ready. So we got up there about 11:30. After finding in the woods they live. We rode around. I had a page, one of those yellow pads, full of the directions. You start with one street and you wind around.
Well,
You
we went around.
finally went around twice on one street,
There.
and I saw a man twice, so I stopped him. I said, could you tell me how to get to Black Market Street?
Black walnut.
Black Walnut, I don't want
Black
to say
Market.
Black Market.
Black Walnut.
So he said, you go down there to
Get
the
a Black
3rd
Market
Street and you
cake.
go make a left in there and you'll walk right into it. Well, I figured they'd have their name on. They have a beautiful little home. I didn't know what they lived in, a trailer or what. But they got a beautiful home. They also have another home here in Holiday.
You
So,
got 300 rose bushes. 300.
in Holiday, in
Church
the old
is
house
right.
they lived in, and now he wants to put 300 where they live. I think he's much older than her. She's a real young girl. I'd say
They're out of
She's
their
like
cotton
Ridley.
picking mines.
Yeah,
These
she's
he's
about
much
the
older.
size of Rita.
I
He's
can't
much older
break my
than
chops
Judy,
like
and
that.
he's
50,
tall
they
and
got 300.
How many do you have?
Some more.
So you did finally get the cake.
So the cake was all done, but she had to ice it. So I said, we'll wait in the car. I know I'm early, but I said I was up here and I couldn't see going back home and coming back. So in the first place, I wanted to find it. So it took us about an hour to
You
find
found
it.
it.
So she said,
Well,
come on
52,
in.
you know, they got
So
all
we went,
52
now
around.
we didn't get lost, only that I
Went
went
around
around the
circle.
same circle twice, or 3 times maybe. So anyway, we went in the house, beautiful little home, it's new. And,
So you didn't wait in the car?
no,
Play
so
golf
we
while we
sat
did
there
it.
and
He
I
said
watched
that's
the
why
rest
we know
of
how to
it.
use it. Kids knew how to use it before you did.
She
Kids all knew it.
Made a
yeah.
homemade comb
Yeah, they come
out
like,
of parchment paper.
computers, all
One,
that.
two, three.
Yeah, Scott
Made
set
it.
it up.
So,
Put her
what's-
icing in. Free hand. She went around that thing. Wait till you see it.
like your brother,
Free
he didn't
hand.
wanna admit
Everything is exactly
he didn't
one is
wanna
the same
admit-
as the other.
senior
Yeah.
citizen or nothing. Now we
Perfect,
The
perfect.
roses she
Well,
had
we
were
went
all
to it.
made up.
I'm anxious to see it.
Yeah, well, you'll see it tomorrow.
Or on film right
She's got a film on it.
Only when you play.
You know, we got
Yeah.
Connie, Jeanette,
I'm the one who played.
Billy, you know,
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
Charlie,
Yeah.
Chris, you know.
Yeah. When I was home a couple of
Bring it
years
down,
ago,
too strong. We
remember
can-
Sally
I
Durazio across
the
street from mom?
Yeah.
she had gotten all their movies done. Michael put them all on tapes for her,
Uh-huh.
so I went over and was sitting there watching her
But you
with
gotta
them,
be sure.
and I couldn't believe some of them. I mean,
He's got a
I couldn't
VCR,
believe
but
it.
he never uses the VCR.
We don't have
Well,
that
you
much
got
time.
big ears, you know that?
I
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
You're
yeah,
talking
you can't
over
win.
there.
Yeah,
that aggravates me.
Both.
You
Well,
got
why-
a beautiful
They
VCR.
don't watch nothing, so why should I bother with a VCR?
God, we watch movies. I bought.
I would
Pretty
watch
Woman
them too
when
if
it
we
came
had 'em
out. I
on.
loved
You
it.
wouldn't
Yeah,
sit
that's
still
Watched
long
that
enough.
the
We
other
have,
night.
I had
I bought
perfect movies
Home
on the
Alone.
other night.
It's the only
You
video
weren't
I ever
around,
bought.
right?
Home
Got
Alone,
Columbo,
watched it
which
like
I
50
like,
times.
and you
Have ever
like.
seen
I
that
watched
one?
it
Yeah,
right here
yeah,
at the
yeah.
table.
Ah,
I
you
can
watch-
see it too,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ah, well.
Fried
I
green.
watched the
Ella
whole
Law
show.
and all that stuff which we like.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
It
They-
is wonderful.
know,
We
the
saw
last 5
Thelma and
minutes of the
Louise. That
good
was great.
mystery
I
movie,
mean,
they
even
got-
though it's not a happy ending,
Yeah.
it's the only
Coffee
ending
made
it
or
could
something
be,
in
right?
the morning, you know, you get up
We
and
went
leave.
to
The
see.
last
And who
five-
Don't
says-
shoot, stop on my
their
mama.
concentration
Yeah.
is
Right.
nil.
Well, you know
And who
him
says
and
to
her,
me,
you know.
did you make the coffee yet? If not, you
And,
can't go to bed.
Me,
what else
I
was
do.
All right,
there?
then
He's
do
a
it
You
tomorrow.
don't do it in the last
Very
5 minutes of
disappointed in
a
that.
2-hour movie,
Dances
right?
with Wolves.
You don't know who the hell won or who the hell.
Bullshit.
I saw that twice. That was
Their
great.
concentration is nil, both of them.
So I have a
Unbelievable.
lot of movies that I haven't really even seen myself yet, you know,
You can
but
write a
they're
book.
there.
All right,
And then
good.
he's a
Why don't you
Clint
write one?
Eastwood fan, so we have a lot of Clint Eastwood movies that we watch,
you can
and of
read.
course James Bond.
Make my day, you.
And Frank Sinatra.
Uh,
Plenty of Frank Sinatra.
So you've got to see fried green tomatoes. It's
She said that
excellent.
fried green tomatoes is a very good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Oh, yeah.
Jessica Tandy is
I thought you were
just-
gonna buy some
I
today.
didn't go to the market
Well, that's
today.
not in
I
the
wanna
VCR
buy it.
yet. That's not in the tape. That's still
No,
in the
no,
movie
no,
theater.
because it
It
just
isn't?
came into the
Brand new.
movies yet, yeah.
But remember that one. You got to
But
get
I wanna
that one.
try, I wanna eat some fried green tomatoes.
Yeah.
I asked her,
Fried green
Oh, they're
tomatoes?
delicious.
Yeah, I wanna eat 'em.
Stuff them down.
I'll
your
buy
ears.
some.
Fried
I'll
green
buy
tomatoes.
I'll buy some, they sell
Fried
them at the
green
market.
tomatoes.
I don't ever remember.
How do you make 'em?
fried
You gotta-
tomatoes, period.
How do you make them?
Especially
You
green
fry 'em.
ones.
You bread them,
You bread them and fry them just like anything else.
they're delicious.
French fries or anything else.
I mean, they're
Hot
deep,
oil
they're
or
deep fried just like French fries?
Yeah, same thing.
Do
They
you
tell me
slice
they're
them and stuff?
delicious.
You didn't see the movie.
No,
with me.
actually,
Oh,
you
my
make
God.
them in a pan, in a frying pan.
Was
Not
she
in the
good,
deep
Jessica
fryer.
Tandy? Was she good
Otherwise,
in
they
that
would
movie?
get
And
all
so is
mushy.
Kathy Bates.
Mhm.
And see, I didn't see Misery.
Would
A
you
lot
slice
people
them first of
saw
all?
her in Misery,
Slice
so
them
they
up.
can't think of her
I
any other way.
would
She was
slice
the
them
one
about
that-
like that,
real,
little
I
on the
didn't see
thick
that.
side.
Science, not science
Then you
fiction,
dip 'em in,
that thriller.
bread-
It's a real,
breading, you
scary
know.
movie.
Any
But she is
breading,
really good.
and then you
The
fry them
girls are
slowly
working
in the
talking
pan.
about Lawnmower
Turn them
Man,
and they're
you know?
delicious.
That's a real weird
I'll try that.
movie, you know.
Seen that one.
It just started out Friday.
What's the name of it?
Lawnmower Man with it's a Stephen King.
Never,
Oh,
never
okay.
heard of it.
But
I don't
any-
even
it's
read
nothing
his
you
book.
want to see, Edward.
It's a scary one.
Never heard.
It's a real weird movie.
Fun
Go see
film?
that. That's what they
Yeah,
said. That's
Stephen
what they
King's
said in the
film.
paper
Stephen
today.
King's usually not.
I don't,
No.
I won't read his
I don't
books,
like.
I don't
No,
like
I don't like
No.
it.
scary
I don't
books.
like them at
I don't
all.
like scary movies.
I want to
mean-
read Prince of Tides. Have you read Prince of Tides? I want to read that before I see the movie.
Oh, we saw that. Didn't we see Prince of Tides?
That's with Barbara
It
Streisand.
was great, and I can't understand why they were totally ignoring her.
Because they always ignore her.
Yeah, yeah, I
But
like them.
I like her
She
too.
should have gotten a
Yeah, she did
nomination for
something
Yentl too.
No one else
Is-
would
would
do,
even
and they
attempt.
told her, you
Yeah.
couldn't do it, you're not able to do it,
And so
everything,
she
and
did
she
it.
proved them wrong.
It was a good movie. It was a sad movie, but it was a good movie. It really was.
Yeah, they say you should try to read the book before you go, so I was trying to get.
Well,
time
I
to
didn't read the book, but the movie was excellent. You know, really was. Because I like Barbara Streisand.
I do
Only
too.
as she is, I
Can't
like
beat
her.
her.
I do too.
Yeah, and
Barbara
I love
Streisand.
her songs.
Right, I buy all
Even
the
if she
tapes.
doesn't sing in the movie, she proves she can act,
That's right.
and they're
She's very
totally
good.
ignoring her.
Yeah.
And I don't
Isn't
understand that.
strange?
And Nick
That's
Nolte.
like Erica
And,
Kane on All My
Nick
Children
Nolte,
never
the
getting
guy
a
that
soap
played
opera
in the
award.
show, he's the one that's getting, you know, he's up for some award on the Academy. I don't know.
Huh.
I really
Yeah,
don't
they ignore
understand
her
that.
all
Can't
the
figure
time.
it out.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Not at all.
No.
Well, Nana told me a new story about Dad tonight that I didn't know.
Tell me about them.
The matches.
The match where you put
matches.
You know, my father was a pyromaniac.
You
He's
didn't
a
know,
little boy
didn't I tell you about your brother?
with matches
I don't
when he was
remember,
real
Mother.
little.
That's a long time
He-
ago.
Because she
Always-
probably never told you about the story where I tried to shove your brother in the refrigerator, your father in the refrigerator. When he was a little kid, you know.
Trying to warm
No,
up. You
he
didn't
was
know
always
this.
he was always getting all the attention. Okay. Everybody catered to Charlie. Okay. So one day I just had it up to here. You know, she's in the beauty shop working right now. Of course he didn't fit. You know, because it was one of those refrigerators. You know, just a top
They just
one.
put all new rugs in and got a new.
New
He's
furniture,
screaming
right?
around, and all of a sudden somebody, I don't know if it was you or whoever was taking care of us came in and said, "What's going on?" And I said, "Oh no." Charlie said, "She's trying to kill me."
Now, he always lived nice, so he had a light.
And he keeps
And I
it
was
going,
afraid
you know,
he
they
would
go out
burn the
for
house down,
breakfast,
burn
lunch,
himself
dinner,
up, or
supper,
blew up.
you know,
Every
go,
time
go.
I went out to
all
hang
the time,
wash,
all the time, go, go, go.
Which had to be
He
every
put the
day.
entertainment center against that
he
wall
would,
over there.
I'd come back and he was, had rid of the
I
mess.
can
Yeah,
remember
but he
that.
got none of it.
So,
All I know is he was a bratty
They got
kid.
all
You
these-
guys go with him?
I would
Yeah,
like,
it's
I
out
caught
back
him
on
one
the
day,
wall over there,
just to
and-
see it. So I took
Well,
his
he's got
finger,
two
I
or
brought
three
it
of
to
them,
him.
about half a dozen.
If it was today, I'd have been in jail because
Got new
Grandma
speakers,
Tana
got
thought
new
I
Bose
was
speakers,
terrible.
but I want a
I
couple
said,
new speakers too.
Mom,
He got
isn't
a
it better
couple
I
new
correct
Bose
him
speakers,
and
he's
stop
got
it?
stereo
He
sound
could burn
on
the
his
house down, he
television.
could kill his
Today they
sister.
want to call HRS.
That was,
Yeah,
that was
right.
Grandpa's
Oh, and
mother,
what the hell is my-
That-
Grandpa's
my
mother.
great grand,
Yes,
great
yeah.
grandma on
Yes.
Grandpa's
Yeah,
side.
my mother-in-law.
Because I don't remember her.
No, you
No,
wouldn't.
no,
Hardly.
no.
She
you
died
wouldn't.
But
before Jeanette was
I
born.
remember Grandma and Grandpa Abrams
Oh,
very
yeah.
clearly.
Oh,
Right,
very
right.
clearly.
Yeah. Well, they
very
didn't die
distinctly.
until 65, right?
Right, right, right. But you,
Grandma Tana,
Grandma Tana
she
died.
died before Jeanette was
Oh,
born.
Oh, yeah,
Grandma
Forty-
Tana died the
48
year,
That's where they just
She
put it
died
on
in
that private
January,
property. You can't move for traffic.
your mother and
You go to
father got
restaurants,
married
you
that
can't
November.
get in.
So it's 48.
Everybody spends money on that house.
So you couldn't have.
because and
I
we
only-
celebrated
Greenie
our
was the
25th
only-
wedding anniversary.
Greenie was the only
Yeah.
one
In June.
that
And
Everybody in the
Yeah.
village
You
said
can't move
it was
around.
terrible.
Go to
I had,
camper
my
out.
mother-in-law had died and I should have mourned
It's
the
on-
year.
They
Here
die
I had a
when it's
wedding
good, you know,
and an
when it's-
anniversary.
yeah, night, you
I
know,
said, so what? I said, I took care of my mother-in-law and I did good
you go
with
on
her.
Fast Eddie's tonight,
So I
you
said,
go
why
over
should
there,
I
you know, when you get down there.
Give up the rest of our lives. I couldn't see it, but this one lady,
But
And they,
Dad wouldn't have wanted you
No,
to stop.
no.
He-
How
Yeah,
old-
tur-
how old was she
tourism
when
is
she
down,
died?
Grandma's
72.
72.
Grandpa
Young.
Tana
She was
died
young.
at 72. Grandma died at 72. Uncle Hans died at 72. It's scary.
I'm 82, never mind that stuff. Brian.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
you,
you
well,
know,
you
the one
passed
went
it.
past
You
it.
passed it. You forgot.
Yeah, right.
You
You
didn't
went
know
past
this.
it. Grandma and Grandpa died not quite, Grandpa Abrams, Grandpa Abrams died not quite 86.
Yeah, 86.
I
They
didn't
didn't
say
make-
that. I
they-
said 1965.
They died in 1965, Helen died in 1965. And she lost her job in
Where's the other guy go?
1965. Three things happened in one day.
I don't know what they're doing.
July.
Nobody knows what the hell they're
She
doing.
went to work in the
Everything else
morning,
going
she
on.
worked in the factory in
Kevin
Plainville.
doesn't know
Yeah.
one and the other. All I'm hoping
Ed
is that
calls
Duke
me up
runs
in the
so
morning
get
and tells
somebody
me,
else something
and
different.
I won't go to bed.
So Duke runs.
My mother had a stroke that day. So
Yeah.
believe me, and she didn't come home at night.
We gave 3 rides
She
to
was
work.
always home by 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, she'd come in. I said, and where have you been? She said, I'm here and I'm here to stay. I said, what do you mean? The place went bankrupt and everybody
One, two,
had to
three.
pick up their
Yeah.
stuff and get out.
Get out, right.
So she was all that while getting everything together and getting out, and getting papers for to go on unemployment and all of that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
But that was a day I'll never remember, never forget, believe me.
Hmm.
And then Grandma didn't know anything from that day on until she died.
She
And
died
wa-
first.
She
Yeah,
died
grandma,
first. Yeah.
grandma died first, and
She
then grandpa
died-
stayed in bed, he never got out of bed again.
Right. Who?
Grandpa Abrams.
I
Once
moved
grandma
him.
died, that was it,
He
was,
never got out of
He
bed.
about
never
3 months later, he
trained.
was gone.
No.
I had the twin beds in the big room.
Oh, I remember him being at the house.
And he
Yeah.
always slept at the wall, but they always faced each other. The night that she had the stroke, we didn't tell him. And Eunice came in to get, I was gonna give my father a haircut, he needed a haircut, so Eunice said, it was Ed's birthday, October the 4th.
Yeah.
And they had gone home, Ed and his father and Alma, I had for dinner. And so they went home and Eunice says, you know, Pop needs a haircut, maybe you should do it tonight. I said, all right. So I went downstairs in the basement to get my stuff, to cut his hair, the cape and stuff. She went in the bedroom to tell him that I was gonna cut his hair. And my mother's laying there with a great big smile on her face. And Eunice looked at her nails and they were half blue already. Well, look at the wind going.
Well,
My protege.
I was wondering if you were gonna come over.
Right, she heard
All
so
right,
much
all right. Who's
about
this
you.
guy?
Listen, how is your little baby brother?
Jeremy.
What's his name?
Hi, Jeremy.
Anthony.
Anthony.
brothers.
Isn't it a brother?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
a brother.
a brother.
Yes, it is.
You got a baby brother.
So what's new? Nothing.
Where were you all day?
Ed said you wasn't over this morning.
I was at the park.
Oh, you went to the park? Who with? Mommy? No? Mommy? Your baby? Hmm? Oh, boy. You're stepping out these days.
He's a babysitter.
I think you would like that clacker right there that's got your favorite cheese on it.
I don't know, Jeremy, is that my favorite cheese? Let me see. Well, all right, I'll let you
Jeremy, bring that over here. I think that's my favorite cheese.
Look over there.
Getting your picture taken.
Look over there. He's taking your picture.
Say hi.
Camera.
Say hi, Jim.
Jeremy, how old are you?
That's Jim and this is Connie. They're my grandchildren.
Jeremy, he wants to know how old you are.
You can tell him.
Okay.
You can tell Jim.
One hand.
He's
All right.
he's got
All right. You don't have
he's
to
got
tell
a
me, but let me
little girl,
guess,
he's got two
Jeremy.
big boys.
Jeremy, you don't have to tell me, but let me
Jeremy,
guess.
Jim is talking to you.
Okay, I'm going to guess. All right. I think you're 28. No? All right. 32.
16.
He's got a
39?
little girl by the name of Brooke. She's going to be 12 years old.
You're too young for her.
And when she was 9 years old, I said, Brooke, Nana forgot how old you were going to be. It's your next birthday. She said, Nana, I'm going to be 9 going on 20. That's what the little girls say today.
What?
But the little boys don't say that. You don't say that.
Now I'm going on 20.
You don't say that.
You just go to the beach today?
No, just hung out at Innisbrook.
No, they're
The beach, they tell me that the sea fog rolled in tremendously down
This
there.
morning.
Now, I don't know about
Well,
Clearwater
the golf
Beach.
7,000 on
Really?
Yeah.
You remember the fish fries at the Methodist church on Wellwood Avenue?
Right, right,
yeah.
right. They
Oh, you
still
can
having
eat
them.
fish fries. Those were
Yeah,
good.
fish fries.
They always had those.
Yeah, they still
Yeah,
have
they
them.
always
Yeah.
had that, right?
Because I get the South Bay again and
Yeah.
they tell when
Yeah.
they have them.
Mhm.
You
That
know,
was
you remember Roy and Gladys, friends of Doris's?
Yeah.
Gladys died.
Well, she died in April.
And what's her name?
Betty.
Betty.
Betty, I
Oh,
told about
yeah.
Betty Bonventry.
You guys
Yeah.
wait for the booze.
And now, did I
No,
tell
was
you
looking for
about
Kleenex to blow my
Diane?
nose.
Oh.
Right
Yeah,
here.
What?
right?
Husband.
Quick thinking,
Yeah.
good thinking.
Good thinking, that's
Well,
fast.
when did
Good
I
thinking.
see? When did I see them last? Was it here? That we saw them here?
Yes,
And
last year.
wasn't it, he had just gotten sick or something? Or it
Yes.
wasn't long after that.
Right after that, he got
That
sick,
I
yes.
guess it was Mom that told
Right,
me.
right.
Who's
That
that?
he had cancer.
Diane Waters'
husband.
husband.
Did he die?
He's dying. Elsie and Al are up there now. They flew up Sunday, last Sunday. Lorraine called me. Lorraine,
Oh, I
you
think
know.
it was when Mom was out for Todd's graduation. She told me that he had cancer.
Oh, yes, yes, he had cancer. Got cancer of the brain and cancer of the lung.
husband?
Huh?
Diane?
No.
Oh.
Uh,
But
They have kids, my kids' age, and when my kids were down in the Bahamas one time, they're playing on the beach, and they meet these kids, and the kids say they're from New York, and my kids say my grandmother lives in New York, and the
Right.
kids say, oh, well, we're from Lindenhurst, and I said, kids say, my grandmother lives in Lindenhurst, and then they find out they're related.
Oh.
So they all went over and talked to Diane and her husband, and
Well,
everybody's
related,
comparing notes on
Yeah,
how they're
right.
related and all this. They're sure tail relations, but I mean, in the middle of nowhere, these kids all meet each other.
Yeah, well.
It's not really that shirt tail for Waters.
Diane is a daughter of Al, and Al is
Uncle Joe's son.
Uncle Joe, and Uncle Joe was my mother-in-law's brother. Half
Gets
brother.
very involved.
But it is,
No,
it's,
oh,
it's
yeah,
pretty
It's
close,
really
you
not
know,
shirt
yeah.
tail, it's
No,
really.
it's
really
direct-
closer than
close,
that, yeah.
Closer, yeah.
Where's Todd going to college?
He's going to prep school this year at La Lumiere. It's a prep school in Indiana. Doing great. Absolutely. Just came back from Appalachia, worked a week down there rebuilding somebody's house and building them an outhouse, and you know, came back with no clothes, gave everything away.
Oh,
Didn't come back with
Was
a
it
t-shirt
Habitat?
to his name.
Was you going in for that Habitat?
No, it was a co-op that his school does with Notre Dame. And
okay.
Notre Dame sends a group down, and Todd's prep school sends a group down, and they work there for a week. And I mean, it was a great experience for him. He really came back with his eyes open. You know, my kids travel. I mean, they've been to Mexico, they've been to the Bahamas,
Yeah.
they've been to Jamaica, they've seen poverty, but when you see it in your own country to that
Yeah, it's
level,
different.
it's
It's
different.
different,
Because you
yeah.
expect other countries to be poorer, but not.
I got a
No,
letter
country.
from Cindy, and
Oh,
she
yeah.
said that the college is very hard, but she said she's doing fine. She got 3.8 average, so yeah.
Wow.
And she's thinking about joining a sorority, and she's going to Bermuda in June. She's all excited about that.
Yeah, well, she's been to Miami.
No, Key West.
He
Oh,
went.
Key
Key
West,
West.
Key West,
Key West.
yeah.
I got
Cindy's
a
in
letter
marine
from,
biology, Jimmy.
Rini,
No,
Wow.
Heather
Heather.
from
Heather.
college, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a letter from Heather too, and then I wrote her back and asked her different things, and to keep in touch, you know.
right.
So they both want to know if I was coming up this summer, and I said no. I said I'm coming up in October for Charlie's wedding, you know, if I get an invitation, that is.
I'm sure
sure
you're
you
gonna
will.
get an invitation.
Anyway,
They're
that's what
all,
we're
ready.
planning on, you know.
Mhm.
You're a relative,
We'll
right?
be, obviously, we'll be up there then, and we have to go in September. Jim's nephew is making his bar mitzvah.
Oh,
Say that again. Say that
Jim's
again.
nephew
That
is
was-
making his bar mitzvah. Now,
Bar
his
mitzvah.
sister is Catholic, but her son is making his bar mitzvah.
So
It's
her
a very
husband must be
eclectic
Jewish,
family.
then. Yeah.
Yes, but see, really,
But
in
it-
the Jewish religion, if the mother isn't Jewish, the children are not considered Jewish.
Oh.
But this kid, anyway, has
That's the old
gone
school.
through, yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
now,
yours.
with everything being
Nowadays,
more
yeah.
liberal,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so we'll be up in September for that, and October for the wedding. So we'll actually be up there twice. So I don't think I'll go home in the summer at all.
No.
Just
No,
in
I mean-
September, October.
And I wasn't up.
Twice.
I wasn't up last year either.
I
because
wasn't
was
up
working.
last year. Last time I was up was a year ago, October. I flew up by myself. And we had a nice time. I went, my mother took
And
me
you
here.
better fly up again for your birthday or something.
It's trying to get ready in there.
Can I make a
that's
suggestion?
That's him.
They'll drive you to the airport.
I know, yeah, we drive.
That's what he
meet up,
said,
take
I'll
a
drive
ride.
you to the airport. Do that, drive you to the airport.
My neighbor May, May and Howie across the street. Well, her daughter was down, and she had to take her back to the airport. So Howie couldn't take her because Howie's not well. He's having problems, and he couldn't
drinks so
drive to the
damn
airport.
much.
Well, he's not drinking now.
Oh, yeah, no.
Anyway, so she had to do the driving. Howie was in the car, but she had to do the driving. And she went across the bridge to Tampa, and she made the wrong turn and come all the way back on the bridge, and had to turn around and go all the way back. By the time they got to the airport, they practically took her daughter and dragged her on the airplane, right? And she said, and I'm holding her pocketbook, so she had to give that to the porter to take it. So she said, on the way home, Howie had to drive home. She said, I was a nervous wreck.
I
She
guess
said, I
so.
took a Tylenol and went to bed at 8 o'clock.
We met them when? New Year's, was it, or Christmas?
Christmas Day.
Christmas
We
Day.
have a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah,
Gladys
Christmas,
is coming
Christmas.
tomorrow.
Yeah, you told me,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's coming tomorrow.
Well, do we want to go to the restaurant?
Yeah?
You sure you're not going to come? I mean,
No,
you gotta eat.
I don't like to eat. I could skip. I haven't eaten all week, actually.
If
you never
Well, then maybe you'd be up for a
I
meal.
like a balloon.
Yeah, that's that boat. I tell you, I had it. I came one day at work at 1 o'clock. I felt like somebody put a vice around my head
Right.
and was turning it.
His
Okay.
has all been in his
I
head too.
came home, I said to Pete, let me get to bed. I don't wanna hear nothing, I wanna go to bed. And I slept for what, almost 2 hours?
Yeah.
Got up, had a bowl of soup, stayed up for an hour or so, went back to bed and slept all night long. The next day I felt great.
You had NyQuil though.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
NyQuil.
the NyQuil, that knocks me out. I
Oh,
love
yeah,
that
but it
stuff.
relaxes you.
Yeah,
It really does
yeah.
relax you.
Maybe
That's
that's
why
what
you're
I
only
need
supposed
tonight.
to take it at night.
Yeah.
Yes, can I do something for you?
Wow, I just-
Every time I turn around, what are you focusing in on my jacket or my earlobe or what?
Actually,
Don't get you coming out of the shower like these others
Well,
all
when
the
we
No,
go
time.
actually, what I'm trying to do is, I'm really trying to appraise her earring.
It focuses so into it. I focus on her mouth. I focused on her braces. It was
Oh.
hysterical.
Oh,
And we play it back
God.
on the TV. You see the screen through full of metal on the TV. It was great.
I bet she didn't like that.
I bet she didn't.
She's pretty good about it, actually. I don't think she's
She
that
and
bothered
her
about it.
girlfriend did this thing. And they set up the camera while I'm at work. I mean, this is great. You know, brand new toy. The kids are like dropping it. It's wonderful. They set up the camera, and her and her girlfriend were sitting on Brooke's bed, and they had all the pillows around, and they did a talk show. And it was a cross between Oprah Winfrey, Geraldo, Sally Jesse Raphael, and
And Donna
Wayne's
Ju-
World. You know, the
Oh,
Wayne's World
yeah.
from Saturday Night Live
Yeah,
that they
right,
just
right,
made the
yeah.
movie out of.
I don't know, but I've heard of it.
Oh, they were so funny. They took turns being the hostess and the guest. And when Brooke was the hostess, Krista's story was how she married the man who robbed her house. And she didn't know he robbed her house until he started giving her jewelry that looked very similar to the jewelry that she had that was robbed. But they go on and on and on. And Jim says, these kids, forget it, they watch far too much of this crap. I mean, the whole scenario, from start to finish, they were so funny. The hands going, you know, flipping the hair around, and they had theme music playing. It was hysterical. It was so funny, and they just sat down and did this. You know, Brooke, Scott and Jim were playing with it with Jim's golf swing. Scott was doing a running commentary, taping Jim's golf swing in the family room. He puts wonderful on Berber. Can only putt on carpeting. We can get them to recarpet all the lanes at Berber. He'll be on the tour. It's funny. So it's been a
Fortunately,
good
we just
toy.
ran out of battery, Connie, so
did?
we did not
What
memorialize
does it
that
look
last
like?
statement.
I was alone, I guess, and then you guys, and then you had the van with the kids.